The heavens were breaking, and within the collapsing void, not all who fled were running from destruction. Some were racing toward destiny. If you enjoy my way of explaining and storytelling, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really motivates me to keep creating. While confusion still clouded his mind, a blood-red radiance suddenly burst forth from Qing Shui's eyes, erupting like a violent flame. In an instant it spread across his entire body, wrapping him in a crimson glow. Without hesitation, he clenched the celestial jade and swallowed it whole. His gaze locked onto Master Flamespark's savage, feral, and filled with unrestrained fury. The moment Master Flamespark sensed something amiss, his right hand flicked forward. Instantly the 49 fragments materialized before him. At that very moment, Qing Shui released an earth-shaking roar, brimming with the might of the heavens themselves. The roar thundered across the void like a celestial bolt. Before Qing Shui's space itself began to fracture cracks, spreading wildly before being violently torn apart. They surged forward like a collapsing world, rushing straight toward Master Flamespark. Simultaneously, an endless gale of frigid wind howled out from the torn space. It gathered into a storm of apocalyptic force, like the wrath of the heavens unleashed, sweeping toward its target. Master Flamespark's expression darkened. He let out a cold snort, and the 49 fragments spun rapidly, forming a massive vortex. A terrifying suction force erupted from it, devouring everything in its path. The cracks, the freezing wind, everything was swallowed whole. "Qing Sui," Master Flamespark shouted, his voice stern. "This old man only showed you the celestial jade to help you remember. I had no ill intent." Far in the distance, Wang Lin's heart trembled. Without hesitation, he retreated at full speed, his hands forming rapid seals as he laid down layers of restrictions. Even so, he barely escaped the aftermath. His face turned deathly pale as he stared toward the battlefield. "I'm going to kill you." Qing Shui roared, his face twisted with ferocity. He moved with terrifying speed. As he charged forward, his hand tore through the void itself, and in the blink of an eye, he appeared behind Master Flamespark. His bloodshot eyes burned with madness as his claw lashed out mercilessly. The 49 fragments abruptly shifted, appearing behind Master Flamespark and colliding with Qing Shui's right hand. A deafening explosion echoed. Even with Qing Shui's overwhelming power, he was blasted back 1,000 feet. Yet the crimson in his eyes only deepened. He seemed to fall into an even stranger, more unhinged state. Letting out another thunderous roar, he surged forward once more. Master Flamespark frowned deeply. He had not expected Qing Shui to fall into such a state merely upon seeing the celestial jade. Caught unprepared, his heart sank at the sight. Could it be? This is the same state he entered back then, when he was consumed by demonic thoughts. A flicker of anger rose within him. As Qing Shui charged again, Master Flamespark formed a seal with both hands. The 49 fragments scattered instantly, releasing a brilliant golden radiance. The golden lights intertwined, weaving together into a vast formation. "Celestial formation law transfer," Master Flamespark shouted. The formation detached from the fragments, soaring into the sky before descending, encircling Qing Shui in an instant. Qing Shui roared, but his body froze mid-motion, completely imprisoned. At that moment, Master Flamespark's eyes gleamed. Celestial Killing Thorn. The golden formation spun violently. From within it, countless golden thorns emerged, each one gleaming with a destructive aura as they pierced into Qing Shui's body. Even from afar, Wang Lin could feel the terrifying power contained within them. Yet as the countless spikes impaled him, the ferocity on Qing Shui's face only grew more intense. "I had already forgotten the past." Qing Shui's voice trembled, laced with sorrow. "But you made me remember." A deep sadness flickered within his blood-red eyes, so profound that not even tens of thousands of years could erode it. "Call the wind," he roared, raising his right hand toward the heavens. Wang Lin's eyes widened in shock. A black wind began to gather around Qing Shui, swirling violently before condensing into a massive tornado that expanded outward with terrifying force. The golden formation shattered instantly. From within the storm, 8 enormous black dragons emerged, sweeping across the sky. Their colossal bodies merged with the void, leaving only their terrifying heads visible. Opening their jaws, they exhaled waves of icy wind toward Master Flame's Park. As the cold wind swept forth, it felt as though the world itself had ceased to exist, everything reduced to ruin and desolation. Master Flame's Park's expression grew even more somber as he retreated rapidly. Forming a seal with his right hand, he shouted, "Celestial formation, assemble origin." Streams of origin energy surged from the 49 fragments, forming 49 beams of light that shot forward to meet the incoming storm. Explosions erupted endlessly across the heavens. Wang Lin continued to retreat, blood seeping from his eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. Each explosion shook his very soul, yet his eyes burned with brilliance as he stared unwaveringly at the battle. Call the wind. This is the power of Call the Wind. After 49 resounding explosions, Master Flame's Park staggered back several steps, his face turning slightly pale. Controlling such a formation placed a tremendous burden on him. Ordinarily, dealing with someone like Qing Shui should not have been so difficult, but the problem lay in Qing Shui's spells. They were simply too overwhelming. This is no ordinary celestial spell. Master Flame's Park's heart trembled. When he had once controlled Wang Lin's body, he had never witnessed such power. This was his first time, and it left him deeply shaken. Rumor says that when the celestial realm collapsed, Celestial Emperor Bai Fan died under mysterious circumstances. Master Flame's Park spoke, frowning. As his disciple, don't you wish to uncover the truth and avenge him? Unless absolutely necessary, he had no desire to fight Qing Shui. Such a conflict would completely derail his original plans. But Qing Shui's eyes only grew colder, brimming with killing intent, as he charged forward once more. At the same time, both his hands formed a seal and pressed against his chest. The seal shifted instantly as he pointed skyward. Summon the rain. In an instant, within a radius of 5,000 kilometers, countless droplets of crystal-clear rain appeared, each one shimmering with a blood-red hue. The crimson light spread across 10,000 feet of space. Qing Shui formed another seal, then pointed forward. Summon the rain ice seal. A chorus of cracking sounds rang out as every droplet froze into ice crystals. The ice spread rapidly, linking together in an instant, expanding wildly as it surged toward Master Flame's Park from all directions. "Celestial Lord!" Master Flame's Park shouted, his voice urgent. "Your sudden change caused you to lose your sanity and slaughter countless Celestials. Have you never questioned what truly happened?" As he spoke, the 49 fragments spun wildly around him, forming an enormous vortex. The fragments expanded rapidly, growing larger and larger. "I've discovered that at the same time you went mad. Others in the remaining 3 celestial realms suffered the same fate." He continued, "The truth may lie within the Cultivation Alliance beneath the Rain Celestial Realm. And even if it does not, I swear I will do everything in my power to take you to the Wind and Lightning Celestial Realm." To uncover the reason, the vortex expanded further, resisting the encroaching ice from all directions. Anger finally surfaced on Master Flame's Park's face. "I am not afraid of you. I simply do not wish to fight you," he roared. "It was I who secretly aided you in breaking the seal. Without me, how could you have succeeded? Qing Shui, do not force my hand." At last, Qing Shui suppressed the raging killing intent within his eyes. He stared coldly at Master Flame's Park and spoke, his voice low and heavy. "Then give me a reason to grant you the G realm." Master Flame's Park's expression turned solemn as he spoke, his voice steady yet heavy with intent. "If Celestial Lord wishes to restore your cultivation, you will require an immense amount of origin energy. Rather than devouring cultivators here in the All-Heaven star system, come with me to the Alliance star system. Their powerful cultivators are as numerous as the stars. With your strength, it will not take long to return to your peak." Qing Shui replied calmly, his tone cold and unwavering. "That reason is not enough." Master Flame's Park did not falter. After you were sealed, the celestial realm suffered a catastrophic disaster, one that led to its complete collapse. Do you not wish to know what truly happened? His gaze sharpened. Rumor has it that within the Cultivation Alliance there exists a living celestial. If you come with me, all truths will be revealed to you. Qingshui fell silent, his eyes dimming slightly as he sank into thought. Time passed long and heavy before he finally spoke again. Still, not enough. A flicker of urgency appeared in Master Flamespark's eyes. When I was young, I once served as an elder within the Cultivation Alliance, he said slowly. There exists within its depths an ancient scroll. It is said that this scroll descended from the heavens after the fall of the celestial realm, and within it lies a fragment of that ancient world itself. His voice grew deeper. No one has ever been able to open it. A brief pause. But there are whispers that it contains the true cause behind the collapse of the celestial realm. His gaze locked onto Qingshui, and all of it must be connected to your sudden transformation. The timing is too precise, too unnatural. Less than 100 years after your slaughter, the celestial realm fell into ruin. If you claim there is no connection, I refuse to believe it. His tone hardened. Qingshui, we are not enemies. If even this cannot move you, then there is nothing more to say. A sharp glint of killing intent flickered across his eyes. Let us battle. The 49 fragments hovering around him came to an abrupt halt. Though motionless, a terrifying aura began to seep out from within them. Like a slumbering force on the verge of awakening, Qingshui stared at him coldly. A chilling aura spread outward from his body, silent yet suffocating. Master Flamespark's heart sank. He let out a quiet sigh. He had truly tried. For tens of thousands of years, he had combed through the ancient records of the celestial realm, tracing the threads of cause and effect behind countless events. In the end, he had set his sights on refining the celestial realm itself, and obtaining the G realm as the key to his ambitions. Yet he had never imagined it would come to this. Qingshui finally spoke, his voice eerily calm. If you are lying, I will detonate the G realm. His right eye flared with a blinding crimson light. In an instant, a streak of red lightning shot forth. As it closed in, all the surrounding ice around Master Flamespark vanished without a trace. The lightning pierced through space, striking directly at one of the fragments before him. Then again, and again. One after another, rays of G-realm lightning erupted from Qingshui's right eye, each bolt landing precisely upon a fragment. The entire celestial formation treasure began to tremble. A cold aura spread from it, interwoven with flickering crimson lightning. In that moment, the entire treasure seemed to resonate with the terrifying power of the G-realm itself. Master Flamespark laughed, his voice ringing clear. Celestial Lord can rest assured. This old man does not lie. His right hand formed a seal and pressed forward. The 49 fragments spun once more, rapidly weaving together into a massive black vortex that swallowed the surrounding light. Celestial Lord, he said, stepping forward, come with me. We will first meet my allies within the All-Heaven star system, then open the passage to the Alliance star system. With that, he moved to step into the vortex. Qingshui did not hesitate. He followed. But at that very moment, from afar, Wang Lin clenched his teeth and shouted, his voice cutting through the void. Senior, now that you have completed refining the celestial formation, I ask that you return my Thunder Beast. Master Flamespark paused mid-step. He turned, a faint smile appearing on his face. I will still need your Thunder Beast for a while longer, he said calmly. Once the passage is opened and we arrive in the Alliance star system, I will return it to you. His gaze lingered on Wang Lin with a hint of approval. You and I share a certain fate. If you can leave the Thunder Celestial realm by your own strength and reach the Thunder Celestial Temple within 1 year bearing my token, then I shall grant you another opportunity. A faint smile deepened. I will take you with me to the Alliance star system. As he spoke, he tapped his storage bag. A 3-inch golden-purple horn flew out, streaking through the void toward Wang Lin. Then, without another word, Master Flamespark turned and stepped into the vortex. Qing Shui followed. Yet just before he vanished, he cast a final glance toward Wang Lin, his eyes flickering with a strange, unreadable light, a divine sense message silently transmitted. Then he too disappeared. In the blink of an eye, the vortex collapsed, leaving Wang Lin alone in the silent void. I can sense a familiar aura from you. You have learned Call the Wind. In that sense, you may be considered my master's successor. Cultivate it well, it is one of my master's 6 great divine spells. Do not let it wither in your hands. Wang Lin caught the golden-purple horn, his expression thoughtful as Qing Shui's voice echoed in his mind. He remained still for a long time. Only after a while did he lower his gaze, studying the horn briefly before storing it away and flying off into the distance. The Thunder Celestial Realm had now lost its 49 fragments. Though the vortex had vanished, the collapse it left behind only grew more violent. Winds howled across the realm like the wails of restless spirits, their eerie cries seeping into the ears and chilling the heart. As Wang Lin flew, he found himself unable to merge with the world as he once could. He could only navigate carefully, weaving through the ever-expanding spatial cracks, drifting aimlessly through the crumbling realm. The celestial gate is sealed. How am I supposed to leave this place? He muttered. A thought surfaced dark and uneasy. And that celestial lord Qing Shui. Could he have sensed that I once possessed the Ji realm? His figure flickered as he narrowly avoided a spatial rift. Then suddenly, it was as if a bolt of lightning struck his mind. His eyes lit up. A memory surfaced, words once spoken by Shen Gonghu long ago when introducing him to the Thunder Celestial Realm. I need to find Shen Gonghu now. Closing his eyes, Wang Lin reached out with his Dao soul, searching for the trace he had left behind. Moments later, his eyes snapped open. Without hesitation, he shot off in a specific direction. Elsewhere, Shen Gonghu was speeding through the shattered celestial realm. Although the celestial gate had been destroyed, he knew of another way out. The transfer array constructed by the Thunder Celestial Temple. It was the very reason their messengers could enter this realm without passing through the celestial gate. However, the array came with strict limitations. First, it could only transport a small number of people at a time. Second, and more importantly, it was restricted solely to messengers of the Thunder Celestial Temple. Any outsider who dared to enter would be killed on sight. This rule had been enforced without exception since the array's creation. Even accidental trespassers were executed immediately. The authority of the Thunder Celestial Temple could not be challenged. Under normal circumstances, Shen Gonghu would never have chosen this path, especially now, when his relationship with the temple had grown strained. That was why he had initially chosen the Celestial Gate. But now, with the gate sealed and the realm collapsing at an accelerating pace, he had no choice. I wonder where my lord is, Shen Gonghu murmured softly as he pressed onward. Yet despite everything, his belief never wavered. He was certain his lord would not lose. Jian Kongli sped through the void, his figure flashing like a streak of lightning. As a newly appointed member of the Thunder Celestial Temple, he naturally knew the exact location of the transfer array. Without hesitation, he rushed toward it at full speed. When he had been with Shen Gonghu earlier, the thought of heading to the transfer array had crossed his mind. However, mindful of Shen Gonghu's status, he chose not to voice it and instead followed him toward the Celestial Gate. The battle outside the Celestial Gate had stirred his blood, igniting a fierce excitement within him. Though the celestial realm trembled on the brink of collapse, his heart remained unshaken. Like Shen Gonghu, he held firm in his belief. Wang Lin would not lose. I wonder where Shen Gonghu is now, Jian Kongli muttered under his breath. He's probably the same as me, heading toward the Thunder Celestial Temple's transfer array. His body flickered narrowly, evading a spatial rift that tore open without warning. In truth, after arriving at the battlefield near the Celestial Gate, he had quickly noticed something unusual aside from himself and Shen Gonghu. There were no other messengers of the Thunder Celestial Temple present. Only then did he realize The rest had already gone ahead to the transfer array. Thus he and Shen Gonghu now raced toward the same destination, from entirely different directions. Meanwhile, Wang Lin traversed the void as well, guided by the faint connection he shared with Shen Gonghu. But as the collapse of the Thunder Celestial realm intensified, the number of spatial rifts multiplied at an alarming rate. Jagged tiers in space opened and vanished unpredictably hungry, chaotic and deadly. A single moment of carelessness would be enough to swallow him whole. Because of this, he could not move recklessly fast. Every step forward demanded vigilance, his senses stretched taut to monitor the ever-shifting fabric of space. As he advanced, the eerie wailing winds were no longer the only sound. Deep, thunderous explosions echoed across the void, growing louder and more frequent as he neared the crumbling fragments of the realm. Along the way, he witnessed the destruction firsthand. Two massive fragments collapsed before his eyes, shattering into countless pieces. Half of the debris was devoured by spatial rifts, while the rest scattered violently in all directions. Some fragments shot directly toward him, carrying terrifying force, each impact comparable to the full-strength attack of an ascendant cultivator. Though such attacks were not fatal to first-step cultivators, they were far from harmless. If one were unlucky enough for a spatial rift to appear nearby at that precise moment, it would instantly become a matter of life and death. Wang Lin, however, remained untroubled. Whether it was his stop spell or the various techniques at his disposal, avoiding such dangers posed little difficulty. Calm and composed, he continued forward, his figure flickering intermittently as he evaded the ever-forming rifts. Yet the deeper he went, the more unstable space became. Cracks spread everywhere like a sheet of paper, torn apart in countless places, ready to disintegrate entirely at any moment. Wang Lin frowned. He could faintly sense that Shen Gonghu was still quite far away. At this pace, catching up any time soon would be impossible. After a moment of contemplation, a glint of light flashed in his eyes. He raised his hand and pressed a finger between his brows. Opening his mouth, he expelled a single grain of sand, which instantly expanded into a massive fragment nearly 1,000 feet wide. This fragment was refined through divine retribution, Wang Lin murmured softly. Even the black wind of the celestial lord could not destroy it. It should be able to withstand these spatial rifts. With a gesture, he sent the fragment forward, observing it carefully. In an instant, it collided with countless spatial cracks. Invisible forces surged from within the rifts, crashing against the fragment. But to Wang Lin's satisfaction, they left no mark. The fragment plowed through unimpeded. Even more astonishing, where it passed, the rift seemed to flatten, showing faint signs of closing. Wang Lin's eyes narrowed. Without hesitation, he stepped onto the fragment and sat down cross-legged. Forming a seal with his hands, he channeled origin energy into it. The fragment began to glow brilliantly. Its speed surged several times over, transforming into a streak of light that shot forward through the collapsing realm. With this, Wang Lin's pace increased dramatically. Now, he only needed to remain wary of spatial rifts larger than 1,000 feet. Everything smaller could be ignored. Entirely. The fragment cut through the void with astonishing speed. Half an hour passed. Wang Lin gradually relaxed, yet at that very moment his gaze shifted forward and his expression changed slightly. In the distance, a faint crimson glow flickered. Within it was a woman. Her beauty was striking, but her face was deathly pale. Panic filled her eyes as she desperately dodged the surrounding spatial rifts, narrowly escaping being swallowed multiple times. The fragment beneath Wang Lin was impossible to miss in the void. The moment she saw it, her face lit up with hope. She turned and rushed toward him. But suddenly, a spatial rift over 100 feet long tore open directly in front of her. Her face drained of all color. She tried to evade, but it was too late. Despair flooded her eyes. Wang Lin watched calmly, then withdrew his gaze. Given his nature, he would not act without reason. His fragment continued forward, unwavering. The woman struggled desperately against the pull of the rift, her voice trembling as she cried out, "Senior, please save me." Jan Kongli is my senior brother. Wang Lin's brows furrowed slightly. He recognized her. When Jan Kongli had passed by earlier with a group of cultivators, she had been among them. Back then, she had just reached the illusory yin stage. But now, her cultivation had clearly regressed. Her origin energy was nearly depleted. At best, she could barely exert power at the ascendant level. The fragment beneath Wang Lin abruptly shifted direction. It shot straight toward her. In the blink of an eye, it collided with the massive spatial rift. The impact caused the rift to destabilize and collapse just enough. Enough for the woman to break free. She leapt onto the fragment. Her face remained pale, her eyes still lingering with shock. Looking at Wang Lin, she bowed her head slightly, gratitude evident in her voice. "Thank you, Senior, for saving me." Wang Lin glanced at her briefly, his expression indifferent. "Do you have celestial jades?" The woman was startled, then quickly nodded. Wang Lin spoke calmly, as if stating something entirely natural. 10,000 celestial jades for saving your life. Another 10,000 for every hour you remain here. The fragment beneath them surged forward once more. The woman fell silent. A faint, barely perceptible trace of contempt flickered in her eyes. She had not expected that the man her senior brother Jan respected so deeply would be someone like this. If she had not personally witnessed his battle against that mysterious white-haired man, she would never have believed that the person before her was truly a senior of such stature. Without a word, she took out a storage bag and tossed it toward him. "There are 50,000 celestial jades inside. Senior, please check." Wang Lin caught it and erased the divine sense imprint. His own divine sense swept through the bag, confirming the amount was roughly correct. Satisfied, he closed his eyes and ignored her entirely. The woman watched him, slightly stunned. She had not expected him to actually count. A trace of disdain surfaced in her heart. Letting out a quiet sigh, she sat down some distance away, her gaze drifting into the endless void. Confusion and worry clouded her eyes. "Big Brother Jean, where are you?"